Alrighty. So with that in mind, what are your thoughts as you look ahead to the upcoming 2024 race season?
To me, it's gonna be a partial season. I don't plan on racing for points anywhere. It's time consuming wise, it's a lot. And I just not in it for points anymore. I enjoy just going out there and racing the specials, racing against all the best the province has to offer. So this year, like I'm gonna do like a limited schedule of racing. Some at Sunset, some I might go to Flamborough, a bit of Peterborough, but a lot of the specials.
I was gonna say we watched you travel around the past couple of years. What's been your favorite big event to kind of do?
Honestly, like autumn colors always kind of that's close to heart just because that's kind of what put me on the map in this sport.
Right.
But the like velocity, I really want to go and do well at. That's a track that I've always liked, got to enjoy, and it was I got out of the mini stock thing pretty quick. I moved up pretty quick, and I think that I kind of lost out on getting my chance to kind of play in those cars a bit more. Enjoyed playing with the big cars, but the I want to go back, and it's something that's a little bit more attainable with time, and like I said, with new family, it makes it tough to be at the track every weekend, and to travel with one of those cars, it's much easier.
Hmm.
So I plan on going to like velocity is going to be another big one for me. The specials near the end of the year. That's pretty much it at this point.
We always see the fact that you're fast everywhere you go every week, but where do you feel that you need to keep improving in that to basically have a chance at sweeping those specials at the end of the year?
Oh, that's a good question. The like like always been fast, more so with other people's cars because I've been more so building other people's cars than stuff for myself. So I might be rusty getting back in the car, especially like with autumn colors coming back and hopping in. I remembered what it was like to drive 60 laps in a car nonstop. But I think that honestly, like getting out and get more track time for myself, getting some practice time in, like at Sunset, definitely because it was a track that I have limited time at. Same thing with Flamborough, I had limited time at. Like most of the time at Flamborough, I was in a modified compared to a mini stock. Peterborough is I'm very comfortable there, but definitely in the Sunset and Flamborough, getting some track time for myself more than anything. We're just getting improvement in my driving and even the setup of the car so that it's ready to go for those big events.
How did you get started in racing originally?
So originally what happened is I had no idea about circle track racing at all. I went to school with one of my friends, and it got introduced to like Ryan Oosterholt and the group of guys that we all hang out with. And they had a Ortho Winter Enduro that we went to, and that was my first experience at being at like an oval track race and seeing what it was. And in my first year, we bought a car. I think it was like 3 weeks before the start of race season, and we built the car in 2 weeks, and I was able to make it out in bone stock. Then that's going back 2012, and that was kind of like my start to racing. And then after 2012, I ran autumn colors in the mini stock division and moved up the following year, and then went 2013, 14 mini stock, and then 15, 16 was in the modified.
So what's been the most memorable moment that you've had in racing to date?
Honestly, the probably my most memorable race, autumn colors was a big one. Winning it like as early as I did, getting a crown jewel was awesome. But the one race that we did Thursday at the Sunset was for the frequent flyer 50. It was probably one of my favorite races. It was there at like 7 in the morning, practicing all day. Finished second to Andy Camerath, and obviously like he was the top of the list for guys to beat at the time.
Yeah.
Still is obviously, it doesn't matter what the guy drives. But like even finishing second in that race, like there was like 40 cars or something that started, and I was able to finish second on them all and survive it. So that was probably one of my most memorable races that I can remember.
I still think back to that night too, because it was crazy to think we had to run a C main just to set the field.
I couldn't believe it. Like the fact that I think I qualified ninth or 10th something, and like because it was just like it was crazy the amount of cars, and like me and Billy Schwartz battled through 90% of the race. Like it was clean racing, it was fun. But like we're there, and it's like, hey, we're starting a C, then we're having a B, then we're going to the A, and it's like it was just crazy to see like the amount of cars, the amount of people that supported the event. Like it was probably one of my favorite events to be like, hey, a Thursday night race at Sunset, just to pull it off like that. It was amazing.
Hmm. You mentioned that you've gotten to drive modifieds, mini stocks, bone stocks. I know you're kind of slowing down with family and the business, But say budget was unlimited, say you could do whatever you wanted. Is there something else in motorsports that you'd like to try?
Honestly, the circle track thing for me is like definitely close to heart. It's something that I've always enjoyed. I look at like the work that you like put in, like even the APC late models, like I think would be cool. Not say something that I'd want to do full time by any means. Not wanting to be a full time racer. We've been looking recently into potentially building a road course car to do like time attack, because I
Nice.
also like that because the competitive edge of that. I race against myself. I chase a time compared to having to worry about like coming into a corner again, bump, put it in a wall, destroy the car, which obviously can happen in any kind of motorsports. But
Mhm.
it's something that I definitely have interest in because it would be like a new avenue of racing where I still get to drive a car fast, and it's obviously there's less rules to it, there's less drama behind it from what I can tell. Obviously, not doing it, that to me would be one of the aspects that I think I would enjoy. But even like over the last couple of years, building other people's cars and them go and do well, somehow I get involved with it just because obviously I'm part of the making of the car quick.
Who's your racing hero?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I've never even thought of that question. Like, yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, like in big time racing, like NASCAR stuff, I'm a big Jimmy Johnson guy just because of what he accomplished in such a short time. I always found that impressive. Um, like short track racing, I don't find it myself to say have a hero in the sport just
Right.
because I try to be personable with everybody and like no one like I wouldn't say like guys that I look up to hugely in the sport, like John Baker Jr., like he's a big part of the reason why I got to where I was. Like even like my close group of friends, like they're like with even like Ryan and Tyler and Chris and everybody else, we were just Nolan especially, like they're all guys I look up to because they're able to accomplish what they have in the sport as well. Yeah, like I don't say I'd have a hero, but there's definitely people that I look up to in the sport that definitely give good direction to say the least.
You mentioned helping guys out, building cars and that. So, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to that rookie out there that's getting started?
Find someone who's fast, ask as many questions as you can, learn as much as what you can in the shortest period of time. Like me getting into the sport, I got the fast track program with obviously guys that have been racing for multiple amount of years and was able to get a good start. And then I just learned the technical aspect, which is basically get the car to turn and go from there. Like it takes a lot of knowledge, but sometimes it's there's obviously a value to paying for knowledge, which some people will give you for free, some people will ask for money. But if you can get the knowledge quicker, that'll be the quickest way to make it fast.
All righty.